Proverbs 1 through 18 of the Holy Bible, American Standard Version. Proverbs 1 through 18 of the Holy Bible, American Standard Version. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to discern the words of understanding, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness and justice and equity, to give prudence to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion, that the wise man may hear and increase in learning, and that the man of understanding may attain unto sound counsels. To understand a proverb and a figure, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of Jehovah is the beginning of knowledge, but the foolish despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be a chaplet of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, Come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as Sheol, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Thou shalt cast thy lot among us. We will all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path, for their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. For in vain is the net spread in the sight of any bird, and these lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain. It taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Wisdom crieth aloud in the street. She uttereth her voice in the broad places. She crieth in the chief place of concourse. At the entrance of the gates, in the city, she uttereth her words. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And scoffers delight them in scoffing, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit upon you. I will make known my words unto you, because I have called, and ye have refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man hath regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh in the day of your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh as a storm, and your calamity cometh on as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you. Then will they call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of Jehovah. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the backsliding of the simple shall slay them, and the careless ease of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell securely, and shall be quiet without fear of evil. End of chapter 1. Chapter 2. My son, if thou wilt receive my words, and lay up my commandments with thee, so as to incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thy heart to understanding, yea, if thou cry after discernment, and lift up thy voice for understanding, If thou seek her as silver, and search for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of Jehovah, and find the knowledge of God. For Jehovah giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to them that walk in integrity, that he may guard the paths of justice, and preserve the way of his saints. Then shalt thou understand righteousness and justice, and equity, yea, every good path. For wisdom shall enter into thy heart, and knowledge shall be pleasant unto thy soul. Discretion shall watch over thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of evil, from the men that speak perverse things, who forsake the paths of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil, and delight in the perverseness of evil, who are crooked in their ways, and wayward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the foreigner that flattereth with her words, that forsaketh the friend of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither do they attain unto the paths of life. That thou mayest walk in the way of good men, and keep the paths of the righteous. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the land, and the treacherous shall be rooted out of it. End of chapter 2. Chapter 3. My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments. For length of days and years of life, and peace will they add to thee. Let not kindness and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the tablet of thy heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in Jehovah with all thy heart, and lean not upon thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear Jehovah, and depart from evil. It will be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones. Honor Jehovah with thy substance, and with the firstfruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy vats shall overflow with new wine. My son, despise not the chastening of Jehovah, neither be weary of his reproof. For whom Jehovah loveth, he reproveth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the gaining of it is better than the gaining of silver, and the profit thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and none of the things thou canst desire are to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is every one that retaineth her. Jehovah by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths were broken up, and the skies dropped down the dew. My son, let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy ways securely, and thy foot shall not stumble. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For Jehovah will be thy confidence, and will keep thy foot from being taken. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thy hand to do it. Say not unto thy neighbor, Go and come again, and tomorrow I will give, when thou hast it by thee. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. Strive not with a man without cause, if he have done thee no harm. Envy thou not the man of violence, and choose none of his ways. For the perverse is an abomination to Jehovah, but his friendship is with the upright. The curse of Jehovah is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the righteous. Surely he scoffeth at the scoffers, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. End of chapter 3. Chapter 4. Hear, my sons, the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. For I was a son unto my father, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. And he taught me and said unto me, Let thy heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she will preserve thee. Love her, and she will keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. Yea, with all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she will promote thee. She will bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. She will give to thy head a chaplet of grace. A crown of beauty will she deliver to thee. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in paths of uprightness. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and if thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction, let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and walk not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it. Turn from it and pass on. For they sleep not, except they do evil, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the righteous is as the dawning light, that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. My son, attend to my words. Incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thy heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Put away from thee a wayward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Make level the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. End of chapter 4. Chapter 5. My son, attend unto my wisdom, incline thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest preserve discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end she is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on Sheol, so that she findeth not the level path of life. Her ways are unstable, and she knoweth it not. Now therefore, my sons, hearken unto me, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel, lest strangers be filled with thy strength, and thy labors be in the house of an alien, and thou mourn at thy latter end, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, How have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof? Neither have I obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined mine ear to them that instructed me. I was well nigh in all evil in the midst of the assembly and congregation. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Should thy springs be dispersed abroad, and streams of water in the streets? Let them be for thyself alone, and not for strangers with thee. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice in the wife of thy youth. As a loving hind and a pleasant doe, let her breasts satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. For why shouldest thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a foreigner? For the ways of man are before the eyes of Jehovah, and he maketh level all his paths. His own iniquities shall take the wicked, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sin. He shall die for lack of instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. End of chapter 5. Chapter 6. My son, if thou art become surety for thy neighbor, if thou hast stricken thy hands for a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth. Thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself, seeing thou art come into the hand of thy neighbor. Go, humble thyself, and importune thy neighbor. Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise, which, having no chief, overseer, or ruler, provideth her bread in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as a robber, and thy want as an armed man. A worthless person, a man of iniquity, is he that walketh with a perverse mouth, that winketh with his eyes, that speaketh with his feet, that maketh signs with his fingers, in whose heart is perverseness, who deviseth evil continually, who soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, on a sudden shall he be broken, and that without remedy. There are 6 things which Jehovah hateth, yea, 7 which are an abomination unto him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked purposes, feet that are swift in running to mischief, a false witness that uttereth lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. My son, keep the commandment of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thy heart, tie them about thy neck. When thou walkest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall watch over thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the foreigner's tongue. Lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For on account of a harlot a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress hunteth for the precious life. Can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burned? Or can one walk upon hot coals, and his feet not be scorched? So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her, shall not be unpunished. Men do not despise a thief, if he steal to satisfy himself when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. He that committeth adultery with a woman is void of understanding. He doeth it who would destroy his own soul. Wounds and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, and he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. End of chapter 6. Chapter 7. My son, keep my words, and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the tablet of thy heart. Say unto wisdom, Thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the foreigner that flattereth with her words. For at the window of my house I looked forth through my lattice, and I beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths, a young man void of understanding, passing through the street near her corner. And he went the way to her house, in the twilight, in the evening of the day, in the middle of the night, and in the darkness. And behold, there met him a woman, with the attire of a harlot, and wily of heart. She is clamorous and wilful, her feet abide not in her house. Now she is in the streets, now in the broad places, and lieth in wait at every corner. So she caught him, and kissed him, and with an impudent face she said unto him, Sacrifices of peace offerings are with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. I have spread my couch with carpets of tapestry, with striped cloths of the yarn of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves. When the man is not at home, he is gone a long journey. He hath taken a bag of money with him. He will come home at the full moon. With her much fair speech she causeth him to yield. With the flattering of her lips she forceth him along. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as one in fetters to the correction of the fool, till an arrow strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Now therefore, my sons, hearken unto me, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thy heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths, for she hath cast down many wounded. Yea, all her slain are a mighty host. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chambers of death. End of chapter 7. Chapter 8. Doth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice? On the top of high places by the way, where the paths meet, she standeth. Beside the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors, she crieth aloud. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. O ye simple, understand prudence, and ye fools, be of an understanding heart. Hear, for I will speak excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall utter truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing crooked or perverse in them. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared unto it. I, wisdom, have made prudence my dwelling, and find out knowledge and discretion. The fear of Jehovah is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the perverse mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine, and sound knowledge. I am understanding, I have might. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice. By me princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me diligently shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, in the midst of the paths of justice, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and that I may fill their treasuries. Jehovah possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, before the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth, when there were no fountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the beginning of the dust of the world. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he set a circle upon the face of the deep, when he made firm the skies above, when the fountains of the deep became strong, when he gave to the sea its bound, that the waters should not transgress his commandment. When he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was by him as a master workman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in his habitable earth, and my delight was with the sons of men. Now therefore, my sons, hearken unto me, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction, and be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of Jehovah. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. End of chapter 8. Chapter 9. Wisdom hath builded her house, she hath hewn out her 7 pillars. She hath killed her beasts, she hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished her table, she hath sent forth her maidens. She crieth upon the highest places of the city. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that is void of understanding, she saith to him, Come, eat ye of my bread, and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Leave off, ye simple ones, and live, and walk in the way of understanding. He that correcteth a scoffer getteth to himself reviling, and he that reproveth a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Reprove not a scoffer, lest he hate thee. Reprove a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of Jehovah is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. If thou art wise for thyself, and if thou scoffest, thou alone shalt bear it. The foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing. And she sitteth at the door of her house, on a seat in the high places of the city, to call to them that pass by, who go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that is void of understanding, she saith to him, Stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of Sheol. End of chapter 9. Chapter 10. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. Jehovah will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he thrusteth away the desire of the wicked. He becometh poor that worketh with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. Blessings are upon the head of the righteous, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a prating fool shall fall. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known. He that winketh with the eye causeth sorrow, but a prating fool shall fall. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirreth up strifes, but love covereth all transgressions. In the lips of him that hath discernment, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is a present destruction. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, the destruction of the poor is their poverty. The labor of the righteous tendeth to life, the increase of the wicked to sin. He is in the way of life that heedeth correction, but he that forsaketh reproof erreth. He that hideth hatred is of lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. In the multitude of words there wanteth not transgression, but he that refraineth his lips doeth wisely. The tongue of the righteous is as choice silver, the heart of the wicked is little worth. The lips of the righteous feed many, but the foolish die for lack of understanding. The blessing of Jehovah it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow therewith. It is as sport to a fool to do wickedness, and so is wisdom to a man of understanding. The fear of the wicked it shall come upon him, and the desire of the righteous shall be granted. When the whirlwind passeth, the wicked is no more, but the righteous is an everlasting foundation. As vinegar to the teeth, and as smoke to the eyes, so is the sluggard to them that send him. The fear of Jehovah prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. The hope of the righteous shall be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked shall perish. The way of Jehovah is a stronghold to the upright, but it is a destruction to the workers of iniquity. The righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not dwell in the land. The mouth of the righteous bringeth forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue shall be cut off. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked speaketh perverseness. End of chapter 10. Chapter 11. A false balance is an abomination to Jehovah, but a just weight is his delight. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of the treacherous shall destroy them. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but the treacherous shall be taken in their own iniquity. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of iniquity perisheth. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. With his mouth the godless man destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the righteous be delivered. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth, and when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the upright the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He that despiseth his neighbor is void of wisdom, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth a matter. Where no wise guidance is, the people falleth, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. He that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it, but he that hateth suretyship is secure. A gracious woman obtaineth honor, and violent men obtain riches. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. The wicked earneth deceitful wages, but he that soweth righteousness hath a sure reward. He that is steadfast in righteousness shall attain unto life, and he that pursueth evil doeth it to his own death. They that are perverse in heart are an abomination to Jehovah, but such as are perfect in their way are his delight. Though hand join in hand, the evil man shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. As a ring of gold in a swine's snout, So is a fair woman that is without discretion. The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. There is that scattereth and increaseth yet more, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but it tendeth only to want. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. He that withholdeth grain, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it. He that diligently seeketh good seeketh favor, but he that searcheth after evil, it shall come unto him. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as the green leaf. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the foolish shall be servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that is wise winneth souls. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth. How much more the wicked and the sinner? End of chapter 11. Chapter 12. Whoso loveth correction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. A good man shall obtain favor of Jehovah, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A worthy woman is the crown of her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are just, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. The words of the wicked are of lying and wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised. Better is he that is lightly esteemed and hath a servant, than he that honoureth himself and lacketh bread. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain persons is void of understanding. The wicked desireth the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. In the transgression of the lips is a snare to the evil man, but the righteous shall come out of trouble. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the doings of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that is wise hearkeneth unto counsel. A fool's vexation is presently known, but a prudent man concealeth shame. He that uttereth truth showeth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. There is that speaketh rashly like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of them that devise evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. There shall no mischief happen to the righteous, but the wicked shall be filled with evil. Lying lips are an abomination to Jehovah, but they that deal truly are his delight. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be put under taskwork. Heaviness in the heart of a man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. The righteous is a guide to his neighbor, but the way of the wicked causeth them to err. The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the precious substance of men is to the diligent. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. End of chapter 12. Chapter 13. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scoffer heareth not rebuke. A man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the treacherous shall eat violence. He that guardeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. The soul of the sluggard desireth, and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. A righteous man hateth lying, but a wicked man is loathsome, and cometh to shame. Righteousness guardeth him that is upright in the way, but wickedness overthroweth the sinner. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great wealth. The ransom of a man's life is his riches, but the poor heareth no threatening. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. By pride cometh only contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall have increase. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Whoso despiseth the word bringeth destruction on himself, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, that one may depart from the snares of death. Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of the transgressor is hard. Every prudent man worketh with knowledge, but a fool flaunteth his folly. A wicked messenger falleth into evil, but a faithful ambassador is health. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth correction, but he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. The desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is an abomination to fools to depart from evil. Walk with wise men, and thou shalt be wise, but the companion of fools shall smart for it. Evil pursueth sinners, but the righteous shall be recompensed with good. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the righteous. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that is destroyed by reason of injustice. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. The righteous eateth to the satisfying of his soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want. End of chapter 13. Chapter 14. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her own hands. He that walketh in his uprightness feareth Jehovah, but he that is perverse in his ways despiseth him. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod for his pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. Where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increase is by the strength of the ox. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness uttereth lies. A scoffer seeketh wisdom, and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that hath understanding. Go into the presence of a foolish man, and thou shalt not perceive in him the lips of knowledge. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. A trespass offering mocketh fools, but among the upright there is good will. The heart knoweth its own bitterness, and a stranger doth not intermeddle with its joy. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tent of the upright shall flourish. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Even in laughter the heart is sorrowful, and the end of mirth is heaviness. The backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways, and a good man shall be satisfied from himself. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool beareth himself insolently and is confident. He that is soon angry will deal foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow down before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich hath many friends. He that despiseth his neighbor sinneth, but he that hath pity on the poor, happy is he. Do they not err that devise evil? But mercy and truth shall be to them that devise good. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the folly of fools is only folly. A true witness delivereth souls, but he that uttereth lies causeth deceit. In the fear of Jehovah is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. The fear of Jehovah is a fountain of life, that one may depart from the snares of death. In the multitude of people is the king's glory, but in the want of people is the destruction of the prince. He that is slow to anger is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. A tranquil heart is the life of the flesh, but envy is the rottenness of the bones. He that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his Maker, but he that hath mercy on the needy honoureth him. The wicked is thrust down in his evil-doing, but the righteous hath a refuge in his death. Wisdom resteth in the heart of him that hath understanding, but that which is in the inward part of fools is made known. Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The king's favor is toward a servant that dealeth wisely, but his wrath will be against him that causeth shame. End of chapter 14. Chapter 15. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but a grievous word stirreth up anger. The tongue of the wise uttereth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out folly. The eyes of Jehovah are in every place, keeping watch upon the evil and the good. A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breaking of the spirit. A fool despiseth his father's correction, but he that regardeth reproof getteth prudence. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to Jehovah, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to Jehovah, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. There is grievous correction for him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. Sheol and Abaddon are before Jehovah. How much more then the hearts of the children of men? A scoffer loveth not to be reproved. He will not go unto the wise. A glad heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of heart the spirit is broken. The heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on folly. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a cheerful heart hath a continual feast. Better is little with the fear of Jehovah than great treasure and trouble therewith. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. A wrathful man stirreth up contention, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. The way of the sluggard is as a hedge of thorns, but the path of the upright is made a highway. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despiseth his mother. Folly is joy to him that is void of wisdom, but a man of understanding maketh straight his going. Where there is no counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. A man hath joy in the answer of his mouth, and a word in due season, how good is it! To the wise the way of life goeth upward, that he may depart from Sheol beneath. Jehovah will root up the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. Evil devices are an abomination to Jehovah, but pleasant words are pure. He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth bribes shall live. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. Jehovah is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, and good tidings make the bones fat. The ear that hearkeneth to the reproof of life shall abide among the wise. He that refuseth correction despiseth his own soul, but he that hearkeneth to reproof getteth understanding. The fear of Jehovah is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor goeth humility. End of chapter 15. Chapter 16. The plans of the heart belong to man, but the answer of the tongue is from Jehovah. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but Jehovah weigheth the spirits. Commit thy works unto Jehovah, and thy purposes shall be established. Jehovah hath made everything for its own end, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Every one that is proud in heart is an abomination to Jehovah. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. By mercy and truth iniquity is atoned for, and by the fear of Jehovah men depart from evil. When a man's ways please Jehovah, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues with injustice. A man's heart deviseth his way, but Jehovah directeth his steps. A divine sentence is in the lips of the king. His mouth shall not transgress in judgment. A just balance and scales are Jehovah's. All the weights of the bag are his work. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him that speaketh right. The wrath of a king is as messengers of death, but a wise man will pacify it. In the light of the king's countenance is life, and his favor is as a cloud of the latter rain. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold? Yea, to get understanding is rather to be chosen than silver. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better it is to be of a lowly spirit with the poor, than to divide the spoil with the proud. He that giveth heed unto the word shall find good, and whoso trusteth in Jehovah, happy is he. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath it, but the correction of fools is their folly. The heart of the wise instructeth his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. Pleasant words are as a honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. The appetite of the laboring man laboreth for him, for his mouth urgeth him thereto. A worthless man deviseth mischief, and in his lips there is as a scorching fire. A perverse man scattereth abroad strife, and a whisperer separateth chief friends. A man of violence enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him in a way that is not good. He that shutteth his eyes, it is to devise perverse things. He that compresseth his lips bringeth evil to pass. The hoary head is a crown of glory. It shall be found in the way of righteousness. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of Jehovah. End of chapter 16. Chapter 17. Better is a dry morsel, and quietness therewith, than a house full of feasting with strife. A servant that dealeth wisely shall have rule over a son that causeth shame, and shall have part in the inheritance among the brethren. The refining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but Jehovah trieth the hearts. An evildoer giveth heed to wicked lips, and a liar giveth ear to a mischievous tongue. Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his Maker, and he that is glad at calamity shall not be unpunished. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. Excellent speech becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips a prince. A bribe is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. Whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that harpeth on a matter separateth chief friends. A rebuke entereth deeper into one that hath understanding than 100 stripes into a fool. An evil man seeketh only rebellion, therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man, rather than a fool in his folly. Whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore leave off contention before there is quarreling. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the righteous, Both of them alike are an abomination to Jehovah. Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to buy wisdom, seeing he hath no understanding? A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A man void of understanding striketh hands, and becomes surety in the presence of his neighbor. He loveth transgression that loveth strife. He that raiseth high his gate seeketh destruction. He that hath a wayward heart findeth no good, and he that hath a perverse tongue falleth into mischief. He that begetteth a fool doeth it to his sorrow, and the father of a fool hath no joy. A cheerful heart is a good medicine, but a broken spirit drieth up the bones. A wicked man receiveth a bribe out of the bosom, to pervert the ways of justice. Wisdom is before the face of him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her that bare him. Also to punish the righteous is not good, nor to smite the noble for their uprightness. He that spareth his words hath knowledge, and he that is of a cool spirit is a man of understanding. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. When he shutteth his lips, he is esteemed as prudent. End of chapter 17. Chapter 18. He that separateth himself seeketh his own desire, and rageth against all sound wisdom. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but only that his heart may reveal itself. When the wicked cometh, there cometh also contempt, and with ignominy cometh reproach. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters. The wellspring of wisdom is as a flowing brook. To respect the person of the wicked is not good, nor to turn aside the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for stripes. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of a whisperer are as dainty morsels, and they go down into the innermost parts. He also that is slack in his work is brother to him that is a destroyer. The name of Jehovah is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it, and is safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as a high wall in his own imagination. Before destruction the heart of man is haughty, and before honor goeth humility. He that giveth answer before he heareth, it is folly and shame unto him. The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a broken spirit who can bear? The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. A man's gift maketh room for him, and bringeth him before great men. He that pleadeth his cause first seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him out. The lot causeth contentions to cease, and parteth between the mighty. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and such contentions are like the bars of a castle. A man's belly shall be filled with the fruit of his mouth. With the increase of his lips shall he be satisfied. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of Jehovah. The poor useth entreaties, but the rich answereth roughly. He that maketh many friends doeth it to his own destruction, but there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. End of chapter 18.